Europe's silent crisis. Why Germany's economy is dragging the continent down. Germany, the engine of the European Union, is stalling. And when Germany stalls, all of Europe feels the jolt. In recent months, Germany has quietly entered what analysts are calling a technical recession. GDP has contracted for 2 straight quarters. Industrial output is falling. Exports, once the pride of the nation, are slipping. And consumer confidence is at historic lows. What's going wrong in one of the world's most advanced economies? The short answer: everything. First, Germany's over-reliance on manufacturing, particularly in the automotive and chemical sectors, is backfiring. Supply chain disruptions, rising energy prices, and weakened demand from China have crippled its industrial base. German automakers, already slow to transition to electric vehicles, are now losing ground to faster, leaner competitors from the US and China. Second, energy costs remain a critical pressure point. Since the war in Ukraine began, Germany has been forced to rapidly wean itself off cheap Russian gas. The shift to liquefied natural gas, LNG, from the US and Qatar has helped, but prices remain high. That has inflated production costs across sectors and strained small and medium enterprises, the backbone of the German economy. Third, there's a demographic time bomb ticking. Germany is aging rapidly. A shrinking workforce, rising pension costs, and labor shortages in key industries are putting structural pressure on long-term growth. The government has tried to compensate by loosening immigration rules, but political resistance is growing, especially from far-right parties gaining ground across the country. To make matters worse, inflation remains stubborn in certain sectors, especially food and services. And while the European Central Bank has paused interest rate hikes, German households are still grappling with tighter credit and reduced purchasing power. So how is this affecting the broader European Union? For starters, Germany's economic weakness has dragged down overall Eurozone performance. The ECB is caught between conflicting signals: weak growth from Germany versus strong inflation in southern Europe. That makes monetary policy decisions more complicated and potentially more divisive. Germany's struggles are also weakening the euro. Investors are shifting capital to the US, where higher interest rates and stronger growth prospects offer better returns. That capital flight is pressuring European financial markets, especially in smaller economies like Italy, Portugal, and Greece. And let's not forget the political fallout. A sluggish economy emboldens populist movements. In Germany, the far-right AfD party is polling at record highs. Anti-EU sentiment is spreading. Fiscal hawks are demanding austerity, while others push for stimulus. The unity of the EU is once again under stress, just when it needs to be projecting strength on the global stage. Some economists warn that without decisive action, Germany risks becoming the sick man of Europe again, a label it painfully earned in the late 1990s. So what can be done? Berlin is now considering a major industrial policy shift. Proposals include targeted subsidies for green technologies, reformed labor laws to boost productivity, and strategic investments in semiconductors and AI. There's even talk of relaxing the famed debt brake, Germany's constitutional rule against deficit spending. But political gridlock could stall those reforms. Chancellor Olaf Scholz faces resistance from both coalition partners and conservative opposition. With elections looming in key German states, every decision is politically charged. Meanwhile, the global consequences of Germany's slowdown are mounting. As Europe's largest economy falters, global supply chains lose a key node. Multinationals rethink their European strategies, and countries like China and the US gain leverage in trade negotiations, exploiting EU fragmentation for strategic advantage. Germany's crisis isn't just economic, it's existential. Can the country reinvent itself for a post-carbon, AI-driven world? Or will it cling to an industrial past that no longer guarantees prosperity? The answers will shape not just Germany's future, but the stability of the entire Western economic order. The world is watching. Will Germany rebound or trigger a larger European unraveling? Subscribe to Global Pulse, Black Edition, for daily intelligence on global finance, geopolitics, and the power plays reshaping our planet. No noise, just raw truth.